Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to the episode of my F1 2019 Ferrari Manager Career Mode here for episode number 3 at the Chinese Grand Prix for Season 2. If you guys did miss the previous one, then be sure to go check that one out. That was a bit of a tough Grand Prix, but in the end, actually, we came away with decent points because of the strategy and the nature of the points of this system being a bit weird this season. Basically, obviously, if you did see it, we came in second and third, but Verstappen able to get the fast lap of the Grand Prix, so we still actually gained points on Mercedes, which was very good. I was wondering why our car was a little slow. Probably should have looked into the car a bit more in terms of where we're strong, where we're weak at, and it turns out we're actually not that great at our rear wing, the high-speed corners, and even the suspension could do some work there, third place, but you can see there the bar is a lot higher, so I feel like I think the spread gap from Mercedes, Red Bull, and Ferrari is a little bit closer there. We're actually first in every other department, so once this engine is done, I'm going to stop focusing on the engine, and we'll really focus on the high-speed corners and the suspension. Thankfully, though, for the next few races, there aren't actually any crucial, the tracks aren't crucial for high-speed corners or suspension, really, for the next 2 at least. Then we've got, even 3, actually. We go to Canada then. That was the first time we have that kind of situation again where the high-speed corner and it would seem like at Canada, the suspension is crucial. So we've got time to rectify that problem of our car and try and make it competitive. That also means, surely, then, at the Chinese Grand Prix, we could be looking pretty good, actually, once more. So that might have just been a little blip in the system then for us. And that blip, like I said, wasn't really even much of a blip because we still got points on Merc. So that was all good. A few of you guys questioning my management of Verstappen and Vettel in terms of I maybe could have treated Vettel a little bit better. I, in my opinion, don't think so. I think Verstappen was ahead already the entire time. I obviously tried the undercut with Vettel. It did work out, but Verstappen obviously had fresher tyres and more fuel, a little bit more fuel to burn. And so I pushed him that little bit harder. And Vettel, obviously, I pushed him a little bit too hard and he ran out of fuel on the line. Might have just got second place if it wasn't for that, but obviously it's so hard to manage both drivers at the same time when they're literally right next to each other in terms of when they're both running out of fuel. So I thought I did the best I could basically in that situation. Wasn't intentionally trying to get Verstappen ahead of Vettel. I was just making the best of the situation, and Verstappen obviously had more tyre wear to go, so that's why I was pushing him flat out, whereas with Vettel was a little bit more cautious on that. You know, we'll see at China what's what, obviously. You know, Verstappen and Vettel being so closely matched, so I think it's just so hard to tell, really, in terms of what the best way to go about it is. And in the moment in the race, I think it's always going to be like that. Basically, there'll always be a bit of a conflict of what we should be doing and what we do, basically. But as we go through then the mail going off the back of that race weekend, simple question: which one of your drivers is better? I'm just going to say Vettel. It won't matter really because it doesn't affect Verstappen's morale at all there. So I'll say Vettel. Technically on paper, he is the better driver, is he not? Yeah, 4.5 stars. So that's all fine. But Hamilton blitzes the opposition, but obviously we still came top. Verstappen leads the championship now by 4. Vettel's now level on points with Hamilton, and we are 15 points ahead of Merc, which is a pretty decent margin actually if you consider, you know, if let's say Merc get a race win and second place, but we get the fast lap of the Grand Prix and 3rd and 4th, then that's what, you've got 18 points there. We've got 6 and 4, I think it is, plus 2, 8. So they've gained on us. They've gained 10 points on us. So they get a 1-2, and they get a swing of 10 points rather than a swing of what is usually, I don't know, like 15 or something like that, which is usually, yeah. So, yeah, the swing's not as much. And obviously, I don't think we're in a place where with our car and the drivers where we don't need to, I don't think we're going to be coming 3 and 4. I think we'll always be able to get at least one guy right up there into second place, at least minimum. I hope. But, I could have just jinxed it. Obviously, you remember Belgium last season. But we move on then in terms of hires for our pit crew. I think we are all kind of fine here, to be honest. No one's really that tired, unless there's a man that's really good around here. No, not really. I mean, nothing's really screaming out there's a fixing guy, but don't really need that too much, really, to be honest. I'm going to reject all these guys. Don't need to do any of that. No one's particularly high on mistake percentage, I don't think, so I think we're good. We'll just continue on then. So we're waiting for this engine to be built, which is 11 days, and then we'll get on to building a new rear wing, which is going to be top priority there, really. In terms of car repair, let's have a quick look here. So reliability is getting up there, so I'm going to now move this back to performance here and try and improve the performance of our engine, and also we got the brakes going, the gearbox, and the suspension. I should probably actually, you know, our brakes are okay, I think, in comparison to Ferrari and Red Bull. I should actually probably just add on the rear wing onto the performance instead, because that's the one that's lacking a little bit, and we do have a little bit to grow there, 111 to 129, both those rear wings, so we'll see how that goes out for us. But we'll move on then, wait for the engine to be built, which is going to be here in a second, so nothing coming up there, no political votes this early on in this season, that's all fine, so we'll just move straight into this being done. We'll go straight to the design part, new rear wing, and pretty simple, plus 25 to max, no brainer. That'll get done 1 day before the Grand Prix, so that's pretty decent. In terms of this engine though, let's remove, which one's the worst one? This one, isn't it? Yeah, well, remove that engine, add this one on. That's plus on the fuel efficiency improved, so that's not actually a stat we can see, but in the race the fuel efficiency will be improved, so that's going to be quite interesting, because that will be for sure an advantage to whatever driver I give that to. I think I'll probably give that to Vettel, and I'll give this engine to Verstappen. And then we'll kind of, maybe, I don't know, maybe do a fair system where we swap it every other race, maybe. I think that'll be fair enough, because they are on equal contract. I do want to be as fair as I can, so I will kind of swap that around, I think, until we get maybe a second engine that's got that perk, but that's going to be a while, isn't it? So we're going to move forward then, report on the race, 40% chance of rain, so we'll see about that in terms of the forecast here. Wait, what? What? Okay, it took 1-0. Oh, okay, I misread it. It said 6 days before the race, 1 day to build it. Okay, that's mad. Okay, fair enough. Okay, cool. We'll build another one then. Plus 25, that will get done 1 day before. That will actually get done 1 day before the race, because that adds on 2 days to the build time. Okay, decent. Okay, so we're going to get 2 new rear wings in time for the race. That's pretty insane. So I'll remove that rear wing. Add this new one on. Reliability is also not that bad, actually. That's very good. So I'll remove this. We'll add that on. Okay, I'm very happy with that, actually. That's really good. Okay, I completely forgot the rear wing, actually. And even the front wing gets built so much quicker than the engine, obviously. Obviously, the engine's going to take long, but that was quite shocking. 1 day. Literally. Obviously, if it was real life, that would be literally... Oh, well, I wouldn't say impossible. They could fast track it, but these things do take a lot of time in essence there. You know, at least a few weeks if you're trying to fast track it in real life there. But obviously the game, done straight away. So we got another second rear wing built. So I'll remove this one, add that on, and I will add that onto reliability. And in terms of how it's looking now, we're already up into second place. So we're not as good as Merc yet, but we're at least right up there again. You can see the difference in the bar has shot up there, so we're better than Red Bull. We've slumped a little bit on the deceleration, so we might need to look into that. Is braking crucial in a race coming up? Let's have a look here. Calendar, brake acceleration, deceleration, not particularly, so I'm going to continue on building another rear wing, I think. So we'll go with this one again, and then let's have a gander here. We've got fuel efficiency on the rear wing, so that's interesting. We've got plus 40 in the race, minus 20 to the max, but plus 40 overall. So that's 1138. Okay, and this would technically be, well, it would be plus 40, so it'd be 1090 in the race, or actually plus 40 onto 118. So that would be what? 1158, and that is 1138. So technically this is a better rear wing in the race, but in the qualifying maybe not as much. So I don't know. I think I'll take this one. Yeah, we'll go for it during the race. Yeah, why not? So it's going to cost us decent amount, 750 000. That's not bad. That's literally nothing to us. 82 million nearly, so that's all fine and dandy. So that's been done. We're good to go now towards the race. Traveling to Beijing, get that usual sponsor on. Part fitting wise, strap on the new engine and the rear wing. Right, new engine to Vettel. Give this engine to Verstappen. I will then give this rear wing to... Oh, that's a little bit less reliable. I'll give this rear wing to Vettel. I'll give that one to Verstappen. He's content. -4 compared to the other car. So is there something else I can give better to Vettel just to satisfy him a little bit there? There we go. Brakes to Vettel. He's delighted. He's delighted. So that's pretty good. That's a good balance there. So we'll move forward then into practice. It's going to be apparently all sunny. 40% chance of rain, though. You never know. But now we know from last episode we can tweak the setup in quali. And so looking pretty... Look forward to this one. I think we should be a lot more competitive, obviously. All right, send them out then on the race trim on the medium tyres. We've got a setup saved off from a Red Bull career. So Verstappen might be actually take to this quite nicely, maybe. I don't know. Some legacy memory from the Red Bull days. But usual thing that we did last episode then, that kind of new thing that we're going to do here with the shorter practice sessions, we'll just go for the race trim base. We'll go for all the knowledge we can, get level 2 minimum everything, and then tweak this up where we can at the very end, and then do it some more in Q1 then, which worked out really well last time out for us. So that was a good idea. We'll carry on for the rest of the season here, but curious to see what the pace is going to be like. Even though I don't really read too much into practice, I'm hoping that the pace seems to be a little bit better around here than it was at Dubai. In theory, it should be, because the whole thing that we kind of talked about with the rear wing there, it should be. And obviously, we've got a better rear wing now anyway, so I think we should be a lot more competitive and right up there. And for right now, obviously, people yet to set any real competitive times. So as we come through there, obviously, we're on the hardest compounded tyre. We've got people like... oh, well, there you go. I was about to say... We've got people like Cassidy and Chilton on the super soft tyres, but then we come through in Verstappen, so that's a blister on the mediums. Pretty decent. Right, we'll move through then, get these 2 levels, and then move on to the super softs and the quali trim, and also check the setup. But you can see there, annoyingly, we just crossed the line there and have to do a whole half lap there before we can come in. So the timing's always a little bit awkward here, but we'll come in now, go for a set of super softs. The setup is pretty okay. Not amazing, but pretty good baseline there for Verstappen at least as well. 94, that's pretty decent. So in terms of where we go from here, I'm going to say, I think towards top end speed really, because the downforce is all the way down here. But we've also not got too much to go on the gear ratio. But if we go like that, that might help out a little bit. So let's see how that works. If we go something like this and then bring that back like that, I don't know. Let's see if that's going to work out. Something like that, because I feel like that's maybe the jump from like good to excellent. Quali, 3 laps, supers, go, and then for Vettel, a bit more tweaking needed on the downforce as well. Maybe a little bit less on the front wing, potentially. Yeah, I think probably less on the front wing, I think. A little bit less there. Go towards top end speed. I think that's probably the way we're going to go. Knowing me on this game, I just said that. It's going to be the opposite way to go. Watch. Right, we're ending the practice session, and unfortunately, I don't know if this is going to keep going up. The level is ticking over, but they've got to finish a whole other lap. So will that just get to level 2? I don't think so. I think it just stopped there. So we only have level 1 on the supers and quali. We spent a little bit too much time in the pit lane then, in the middle there. I kept on fast forward as I went to click the kind of change up there. And that was the difference there of not getting level 2. And Hamilton sets a pretty decent lap time there on soft tires to split us 2. So he has some decent pace in the tank there. So that's unfortunate. We have 1 less level than I thought we would do for quali. And I still don't know what the setups are like, because they haven't even finished their quali setups, their quali runs. So I can't even see it now. It's gone to the loading screen. So literally, I'm going in blind now to quali. I don't know what Vettel's setup's like. I know Verstappen actually at least had a minimum of 94%, but both Dan and Hamilton look competitive, especially Hamilton on the harder compounded tyre there compared to us. So he might look good on Saturday, but I have no idea on the setup here. So let's just see how it is. Right, this setup was not the right way to go, so we're going to have to go back to this setup and tweak it the other way. So looks like we're going towards acceleration then the entire time, so my bad. So go towards there. The handling was actually okay either way, so maybe the sweet spot will be somewhere around there actually. So that might be the excellent, and then I hope that will be the speed balance for Verstappen. So going to go with that, go on the soft tire of course, and with Vettel we'll go back to this setup and go the other way for him as well, and go towards there, handling that way as well. That was great, that was great. So actually hang on, that was okay, I'll try that. And then the downforce was the negative way, so we actually want somehow less downforce, even less downforce. Then oh wait, no, even more downforce than we had. Okay, right, okay, we'll go to there. Is that going to be okay? I think so. All right, we'll try it. That's a stab in the dark, but we've got time. We've got the speed in Q1. Super soft quali, only level 1. Hopefully that won't affect us too much. Hopefully. Let's go. Take quali. I'm going to send them both out. We'll do 1 run. Put in the banker lap time, that'll get us through into Q2, and then we'll just do setup tweaking as if it's FP3 again. Right, pretty okay time, 1.1 off the pace though, so those Mercs look pretty quick. I'm hoping that's more just the tyre difference than really the brute speed. But in terms of their setups now, 94%, so that's a little bit better. Still not amazing, though. That's good. That's good. So I think somewhere in the middle is what we're looking for then, surely. Something like that, I think. Is that going to be in the middle? No, that's probably more like it, like that. And then handling was great. 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 Well, actually, it's great everywhere, so maybe just go even more. And then downforce was excellent, so that's fine. So we'll go out again. I'm going to bring him in, though, straight away. And then Verstappen, 96. 2 excellents and a good. So still not found the excellent sweet spot then, which is annoying. So it's somewhere in the middle then, again. So maybe this way, something like that. Is that going to be... let's try... I think that will be a bit more to our liking. So send him out again. Go out. I'm going to bring them in straight away. Just do literally an in-lap and an out-lap on the same lap. Just to check this up. It would look weird on the TV if they did this in real life, but there we go. And let's see. What's that going to be then? 98. Good. And 98. That is more like it. Right. We're all ready for Q2 and Q3 in the race then with the setups. Good stuff. Alright, Q2, send that on then on the super soft tyres, and the first time we can really see what the true pace will be like. I'm hoping that so far, what we've seen from Merc, the gap that was there in Q1 was just a tyre difference here. It's an okay outlap for Vettel, good and good, overheated and perfect for Verstappen. Let's see what that kind of lap time they can do, though, boys. Verstappen going purple, though. He's looking very good, actually, in good spirits there. Bit of a toe, maybe, from Vettel as well. As we come through across the line, Verstappen with a 1:27.7. Vettel 5/10 off there. Really poor time for Vettel there. So that's a bit surprising. Let's see then. What are the Mercs going to do? Hamilton splits us, but he's 4/10 off Verstappen, which is very good news for us then. Verstappen looking very electric around the Chinese Grand Prix. Vettel a little bit more time to find. I'm actually going to send him out again. Actually, wait, hang on. Because if he goes fast, he has to go on that set of tyres, doesn't he? So I can't. There's no point. I wanted to maybe see if he could go faster in this session, but there's no point really because we don't have enough tyres to burn, and obviously he has to start on the tyre he qualifies fastest on. So there's a slight danger if he qualifies faster on a different set that we don't have basically enough sets left for the race. So we'll just stay here, hoping that he can pull up some time in Q3 then. But should be obviously comfortably through. We're like, 2 seconds faster than the drop time then. So clearly at the top end, we've really started to push it. We've definitely become Formula A here at the top end. All right, so it's Q3 time then. It's time to do the work and hopefully bag pole position, I'm hoping there. But who will it be, Vettel or Verstappen? Vettel has some time to find. Going to send him out first and see how this goes. We'll give a bit of a gap then to Verstappen. Hopefully not too much traffic here, but a lot of people are going out at the same time right now. Let's see, I'll keep them on auto right here. I'll do manual for a second run here. Let's see then, Vettel out in front, clean air. He's the first man on track here, so he'll be the first man across the line. And there is a decent gap then from him to the next car. So let's see how this goes then for him. Verstappen's on starting his flyer. Let's see, it's green. First sector for Vettel, purple Verstappen. Alonso actually went faster than Vettel as well, so that's a little bit concerning there for Vettel. I don't know, he's lacking some speed here this weekend as Alonso goes purple second sector and keeps that purple second sector against Verstappen and Vettel. So that's interesting. Alonso's looking quick across the line then, and Vettel sets a I don't know what it is actually exactly now because Alonso sets a 1:27.7. Where is Verstappen, though? Verstappen is off the pace. What on... Okay. Alonso right now is in the provisional pole seat with a 1:27.7. Hartley in the Haas. Is that, I think? I don't know. 3/10 off. And then Verstappen 4/10 off. Vettel 3/10 off. So there's about a 3/10 gap between our two drivers, which is not too bad. Vettel definitely has some time to find. Hamilton is in P4. So that's legit pace from Alonso. I don't know where he's pulled that out from. Don't know where Red Bull's pulled that out from. But Alonso and Red Bull absolutely flying right now in Q3 out of nowhere. They weren't there in Q2 or Q1. But there they are. Ricciardo's off the pace by 8/10. So that is a legit pace from Alonso to be in provisional pole. And Hartley in the Haas is in second on a madness as well. I don't know what. I don't know if the track... No, track grip's fine. So I don't know what on earth's happening right now. But that was a bit crazy. Right, second run then. All to play for then, I think. I think that's a beatable time. I feel like everyone is going to be trying to go for that time because I didn't expect Red Bull to be challenging for pole. So, okay, we'll wait a little bit and then we'll go out for a second run. I'll do a manual run here. I think as some people come in now, I'll send Verstappen out first on a set of super softs. We did Vettel first last time out. We'll go manual. We have time to do this as well because we only got three minutes. We'll be fine as long as I send Vettel out 2 minutes to go or something like that. perfect and perfect there for Verstappen. So a perfect outlap for him. That's good. We're going to go manual for Vettel as well as he comes out. A little bit of traffic for him. Let's see, though, what Verstappen can do on the bottom right there on his sector time in the first sector. It's going to be white first sector for Verstappen. So no improvements there. So Alonso's looking pretty good, actually, to maybe bag this pole. Let's see what Vettel can maybe do on his lap there as we try and do this outlap as best we can. Lots of looking at Verstappen on that bottom left there. Is he going to set a better second sector, perhaps? It's perfect for Vettel. So we've got a great outlap for both drivers. But Verstappen, there's no use. He's set 2 whites. And he's not gonna even improve on his time here. I don't know what's going on here. The track evolution's been horrendous for us. And Verstappen does not improve his time. He remains in P3, 4 tenths off. 4.4 tenths off Alonso there. Alonso right now is looking like he's going to get a shock pole position. What's this? Vettel goes green. He's 2 tenths off. 2 tenths off just about there. Will he go better than Verstappen? Will he get anywhere near Alonso? Let's see. Green second sector. So right now, I think he would jump Verstappen. Hamilton's jumped Verstappen. Vettel through the last corner gets held up a little bit there. Alonso goes even faster. Vettel across the line. Vettel! What? Oh my words! Vettel! What a last sector, son! What a last sector! Sebastian Vettel, our main man all last season, the reigning world champion, the Weltmeister, does the job and shows why he is the boss here really at Ferrari still, as he slaps back at Verstappen from last race, bags a shock pole position. I thought Alonso had that in a shoe-in. He was 4 tenths faster than Brent Hartley, 5 tenths faster than Hamilton, but Vettel's done the job. That last sector was it. I think he was about 2 tenths down on Alonso's time going into the last sector, and then he just pulled it all. Absolutely amazing. Amazing. 127.2 for him. Alonso 127.6. Verstappen nearly a second off the pace after showing such great speed in Q1 and Q2. Unbelievable. Great stuff there by Bell. Great pole. Alright, so here we go then for the race. It'll be Vettel v Alonso at the start of this then, both on the front row. In terms of knowledge, we'll take in the medium tyres. I don't think there's going to be any rain this time like last season, so that might not be a factor for us. So it will be a bit of a weird one because these tyres go 10 laps. I know the softs go 14 normally. I think the mediums go about 19 or 20 perhaps at a push. So we're thinking maybe a 2-stop with 2 sets of soft tyres, really. But I think I'd rather take the knowledge on the mediums because, well, we might actually go 2 sets of mediums instead. Because if I go 10 on these, then you've got 30, 15, 15 apiece. It makes more sense, actually, a bit more comfortable to go 2 sets of mediums. So I think we'll go with that strategy then. So quite conservative, maybe compared to other cars around us. But I think that'll be the best way for us to go about it. Let's go flat attack and overtake mode then at the start of this Grand Prix. Verstappen from P5 as well has to make some overtakes. But Vettel from pole, hopefully, into turn 1, he can keep that pole. And we know how good he is in first place at running away from people. So let's hope. He showed some mega pace on Saturday. So let's hope it carries forward into this Sunday. As we now go to 5 red lights to the Chinese Grand Prix. Vettel on pole, Alonso alongside him in the Red Bull car. 5 red lights are out and we're on the way. It's a good start for both drivers, and Alonso and Vettel are side by side into turn 1. Alonso around the outside, but Vettel keeps the inside line. Verstappen with a storming start into P3 ahead of Ricciardo and Hamilton. And Hamilton drops down to P7 there, and his old teammate Valtteri Bottas in the Renault has even overtaken him up into P6, that is, as Vettel now is pressurized a little bit by Alonso. So I don't know. I assume Alonso's going to be pretty decent in this race, perhaps. Let's see how the race pace is. Looks like Verstappen's already trying to find a way around the outside of him, so maybe not. I was going to say maybe Alonso will keep pressure on Vettel, but Vettel's doing what Vettel does best and what he did all last season, really, when he was in first place, and he's getting away in first. 1.7 the gap is, maybe nearly 2 seconds by the end of this race, and Verstappen with a great move down the inside into the hairpin, into the chicane, sorry, as he gets up into P2. He's got it, and he overtakes Alonso across the line into lap number 2. And it's a 1-2 for Scuderia Ferrari. Brilliant stuff there by Verstappen. Alonso down to P3, pressurised by Ricciardo now. Hamilton P6 behind, like I said, his old teammate Valtteri Bottas in the Renault now, trying to make his way through. But the Mercedes not looking as good, and Hamilton not looking as good as he did at Dubai for sure. But now the question is, what is the pace going to be like? Because Verstappen showed better pace than Vettel throughout this entire weekend till Q3. So does that mean maybe Verstappen will have the pace to maybe close goes up to Vettel. We'll have to see. You're going to go both on neutral and high and just slow this down a little bit in terms of the fuel burn and the tyre wear and see how things go. Obviously, doesn't... I think Vettel's the one with the more fuel-efficient engine here as well, so he's at an advantage this race in terms of pushing the fuel. But we'll just see how it develops right now. But the gap is 3.5, so Vettel's doing a great job here. Gap's only about 1.4 to Alonso, so I want to get to that, but at least 2 seconds before I feel comfortable there. And Ricciardo now is closing up to Alonso, so Ricciardo might also come back at us a little bit here. So not resting on my laurels just yet here, but it's looking good for now. Don't need to use too much ERS. We'll leave it on auto right now and just keep going like this. I think on lap 5, I'll go down to neutral on the fuel, or medium on the fuel, just so we don't burn too much fuel and save some for later in the medium stint. Right, lap number 7, both on medium fuel at the moment. Vettel is saving a little bit more fuel, but not that much, really. 29% tyre wear for Verstappen, 31 for Vettel. So, again, Verstappen showing a little bit more tyre wear than Vettel, but obviously nothing as horrendous as Leclerc used to be last season there. But I will probably have to try and make an undercut strategy for Verstappen, which won't be too bad, I don't think, actually. So, I might go on the next lap here, because we're conserving. It's not getting critical quite yet. I think that's... Yeah, see, now we're in the red. So, now I'll go pushing flat out here and try and get an undercut with Verstappen if we can, maybe on Vettel. We'll continue going on for a little bit longer with Vettel, but not too long because his tyres are now underheating a little bit, so I need to try and actually push those so they don't try and get too cold there. But Verstappen gaining some time here as we go through the last sector. When will I use this last bit of ERS thing on this next little kink here? Use it through the last corner. Going to pit in this lap. Going to set medium tyres. No recharge battery. I'll go for a fast pit stop. Let's risk it. Let's see how it goes. Go low fuel here now as we come in. Backup mode as we come in. And now Vettel going to push on for you and use ERS for you as we go through. Right, Verstappen. There was no mistake there for Verstappen. Cassidy, ooh, safety car has come out there. And so that is going to be a major, major plus for Vettel. He just lucked into that because, well, Verstappen goes through there. But he's just, yeah, Verstappen's just on the radio while they brought it out. Ridiculous, because he's just been screwed over there. Because now Vettel can save ERS here. Everyone drives the same delta time. And he can come in and surely will come out in first place. No issue there. He can go for a balanced pit stop and save his fuel, save the tyres. All good there. So Vettel getting the double luck there in terms of being in the lead and then obviously pitting on the safety car. So here he comes now down the pit lane. And he's absolutely miles ahead of Verstappen now. And as they come down, Verstappen has just been screwed out of P2. He's down to P5 now. Alonso, Hamilton and Ricciardo have all jumped him there. It is a bad day in the office and a very bit of bad luck there for Max Verstappen. That's really harsh. That's really harsh. I thought I was going to be able to maybe try and get Verstappen a little bit close to Vettel there, but the safety car for Cassidy has completely screwed that over. Right, Verstappen now. Looks like we're going to be watching you having a bit of an overtake show here. Need to try and get back up into P2 there, son. You have the pace for it, I feel like. Vettel, though, looking very comfy in this Grand Prix, but obviously we're going to bunch up here, so we have to make sure the restart is good. But for now, we have 1 lap left of the safety car. Right, safety car's heading to the garage very soon, so we're going to go on full-out attack then for both drivers here. We'll keep on auto because the computer should do that decent enough there as we go through on the restart. There we go. Let's see how this goes then. Alonso uses ERS. Everyone uses ERS, really, so Vettel maintains that gap then. 1.1 as we go through into the first sector. We'll keep on pushing on, obviously, because... You know, we've got the tyre wear for it, we've got the tyre heating for it, and the fuel, sort of, although Verstappen's on minus fuel already. Vettel with that better engine is looking very good for the fuel efficiency. So that's pretty dangerous there. That looks pretty good combo for Vettel there. Obviously, like I said though, I'll swap it around. We'll give Verstappen this better engine, the more fuel efficient engine next time out. I feel like it's only fair really. But Verstappen then, what are we saying here? Let's go neutral now. Neutral here. We'll go on high for Vettel. We'll go medium for Verstappen because he can't really afford to push too much. And surely we should be able to get Bottas here. He's on the super soft tyres, but I mean, eventually his tyres will wear out. But this will be a little bit annoying, actually, trying to get past him. I feel like, let's save ERS. Let's go attacking here. Let's try and get him on this next straight if we can. Through the last chicane. Going to use all the ERS here because he uses some. Let's boost through. Come on, we get close, but no cigar there as Bottas also tactically used his ERS on that same lap there, so that was very annoying actually. We continue to push on. We're burning a lot of fuel though here, so that's not great for us, but here we go now through the last corner. Use a bit more ERS again into turn 1. Come on. We've used all our ERS there. You've got to get the move done now, Max. There we go. Thank you very much. We'll go down to medium now and try and push on. Hopefully we don't get re-overtaken by Valtteri Bottas. Yellow flags for some reason, but Vettel is still 3 seconds ahead of Alonso. We'll go medium fuel now with him. Right, next up is Ricciardo, but oh no, Max gets overtaken, re-overtaken by Bottas there. Obviously the super soft tyres reigning supreme, unfortunately, so really frustrating here, getting held up by someone who's not in the same strategy as us, because otherwise I would have said let's try and chase after Ricciardo then in clean air, but we just can't, and now we're falling behind because I need to try and conserve these tyres and make sure they don't go too hot on Verstappen, because we're good with Vettel because we've not pushed them too much, but with Verstappen we have been doing. And look at that fuel difference there, 0.38 to -0.48. That fuel efficiency engine is just really good, isn't it? It's just really good. Right, lap 23. Bottas has overtaken Ricciardo now, so that's how much pace he actually had in the tank there with those super soft tyres. We're 3 seconds back from Ricciardo. Hopefully we can try and catch him in the murk. Hamilton now is the one in second place, so like Bottas, he's overtaken Alonso there. The super soft tyres reigning supreme, but Vettel doing enough right now. We're not really being closed down too quickly by Hamilton. Obviously his tyres are now going off Hamilton's, and I would say probably he's going to come in, yeah, on this lap. I guessed it right. So worn tyres for Max now as well, as we're overheating them a little bit. I think it's time to push and go for an early stop onto a set of, well, maybe even softs, maybe the middle compounder tyre. Try something a little bit different here with Max, trying to get him up the place, because he's now closing up on Hamilton, who's now pit on mediums. Vettel now has got worn tyres. We'll carry on. Not too worried about him, so I'll get overtake mode for him, but we'll carry on like we are. With Verstappen, though, well, we'll use some ERS coming into this next corner here. Go around the final bend. Go low fuel, pit in. Right, we've got 16 laps left. Softs go 16. Going to try something different. Go on the soft tyres and just try, because I think the mediums are too slow. And you saw there, Bottas and Hamilton on supers were able to overtake the medium runners. Hopefully on the softs we can overtake the medium runners as well. Right, Verstappen's in. Good stuff. Right, Vettel, mate. Let's save a lot of fuel for you. Let's push in, though, on this in-lap. And let's try and get that fast up the Grand Prix as well. We've got 16 laps left. I'm going to go on to a set of soft tyres with Vettel as well. May as well, actually, with Vettel, to be honest. So we'll do that as well. I was going to say maybe try and eke this stint out and go on supers, but no need to take the risk. We'll go on to softs, play it nice and cool and calm. Right, Vettel's in. There is no mistake on the pit stop. That's good. And he is out in second place, but Alonso's yet to pit, so that's fine. We'll cool this down. We'll save some fuel, and we'll wait for that fast lap period at the end of the Grand Prix, I think, with him. With Verstappen, though, he's P8, closing up to Raikkonen. We're auto here. Raikkonen yet to pit, so hopefully he can get past him pretty quickly. Come on, mate. Yeah, there we go. Up into P7, and now chasing after Bottas, who is how many seconds? About 6 seconds up the road. Sainz pits. We've overtaken him. He's in the other Renault, of course. We're now 6 seconds back from Bottas on the fastest compounder tyre. Come on, mate. Let's try and close up. Let's do this. It may not be a podium, unfortunately, but let's just try and make the most of it here. Right, sit rep now. Vettel's 2.2 ahead of Hamilton. I think Hamilton's pushing a little bit harder than I am, though, so not too worried about that. Verstappen's P6. He is now 4 seconds back from Ricciardo. Not Bottas, though, because Bottas has actually pushed on even harder and has overtaken Ricciardo. Or I think Ricciardo may pit. I don't know. Whatever the case is, Bottas has actually looked pretty damn decent around China here in that Renault of his. Ricciardo, though, I think I would like to say we can get him, but I just don't know, really. Verstappen's not showing too much blistering pace. Alonso's showing some great pace. He's set the fast up the Grand Prix, but of course, we're yet to push. And we've got the most battery power of everyone, apart from Carlos Sainz there with 65%. So I'm going to wait a little bit longer to about lap 35, I would say. Then we're going to really push and try and get the fast up the Grand Prix nailed in. And Ericsson's just crashed. Yellow flags. It's a bit of a nasty crash as he vibrates through in the wall. Gap's now 3.3, so Hamilton now losing some pace. We're still there. We're looking good, saving battery. I'm actually going to keep on manual saving for Vettel there to make sure we keep enough battery power. Verstappen keeps on pushing on. We're now 3 seconds back from Bottas, so we're slowly catching him. Now we're running out of fuel, though, a little bit now. We're on iffy fuel. We'll use some ERS, I think, on this next straight. Try and push on. Try and close up a little bit. Here we go. Massive amount of close up there. There we go. We're right behind him now. Come on. Let's try and get him on this next lap then. Come on. Right, closing into the last chicane. Going to go on pushing, attack mode, overtake mode. Out that last corner. Use the ERS here. Come on, let's go. There we go. Up into P5. Keep on pushing though. Come on, don't let him get past you, mate. Don't let him get past you. Going to go medium. Going to go on neutral now. He's on worn tyres a little bit, Max is. And now, this is the time for Sebastian Vettel. You ready, Vettel? Because we've got a lot of fuel. Overtake mode. And we're going to use ERS on this next straight. And we're going to push on for that fast lap of the Grand Prix. We'll click save now as you start braking. And we'll use it a little bit later in this last sector. Let's see how this goes then. Worn tyres. Green first sector. What will it be in the second sector? Purple second sector. Good stuff there. Use the ERS into the chicane. And out the chicane as well. And hopefully that's a purple lap. There we go. Fast lap of the Grand Prix for Sebastian Vettel. Looking good. Going to keep on overtake mode, but go conserve. Because he doesn't have too much tyre wear left there. He's actually got, that's quite bad. That's quite bad tyre wear. So I'm going to go on conserve now for the rest of this. Because we've still got 3 laps to go. And Verstappen's even worse here. And he's now battling Bottas as his tyres go off the cliff a little bit here. So I tried the gamble on soft tyres. Didn't really work out for Verstappen. Vettel's okay because he's in such a high lofty position in first place here. But for Verstappen there, that's not that great. As he's now down to P6. Pretty much where he was this entire race now ever since that screw over with the safety car, unfortunately. Right, final lap of the Grand Prix then. Vettel's going to come through. He's 10 seconds ahead, as is the pace that he had on the engine power there, even though he's on 8% tyre wear. Verstappen is going off the cliff now, and he's being caught by Sainz. So, yeah, poor management by me, I will admit. We're on low fuel as well, so this is really not that great. 0% tyre wear. He's going to go way down the order here. He's down to P7. Gasly might even catch him there. He's done for. So frustrating. There we go, mate. There we go there. Vettel gets the win, though. That one was for me, apparently. Vettel says first place for him and fast lap the Grand Prix. Verstappen, though, massively screwed over by the strategy and the safety car. A whole load of things. He's down to P9. That's no points for him. That's no points for him. That's a really... I'm really sorry for Verstappen there. That's poor management by me, but also... he got screwed over by a safety car. I mean, he shouldn't have ever been in this position. He should have been second place that entire time. But he just got unlucky there. So, what can you do? What can you do? Vettel, though, great drive. First place, pole, and the fast lap of the Grand Prix. Perfect. And in the end, though, I didn't actually even get the fast lap of the Grand Prix. Hamilton stole it off me then, I think, at the end then. So he gets 2 points. So he gets 8 and matches Alonso's points there. We only get 10. And obviously Verstappen gets 0 there, unfortunately, for us. So it's a gold trophy. But in the Drivers' Championship now, Vettel takes the lead by 2 points. Verstappen, though, even despite scoring no points, he's only 6 off. So... it's not, because of the point system, it's actually really not that bad. It's actually not that bad. So he's still very much there. And constructors-wise, we lose some points to Mercedes, though. We're down from 15 to 12, despite winning the Grand Prix. Mercedes with the double points there. Get it done, but still in the lead by 12. Still take that. All in all, though, mixed day in the office. It's a great one for Vettel. Really great one with that pole he got, which was such a shock, really, still. And then the win, but... yeah, really sad day in the office for Verstappen. Hopefully, he'll bounce back next race with the better engine that he'll get this time next time. So, guys, if you did enjoy this episode, then be sure to smash that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you are new around here, do subscribe for weekly full-on content. I've been aarava. Have a just day. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.